Introducing Disney Mini Mix-Its. Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Or if you're new here, my name is Lizzie and I'm a Disney plush collector from the UK. So happy Tuesday, I hope you're all having a great start to your week so far. Today was supposed to be the ranking of the Stitch Tack Snacks plushes, and I'm sorry I've pushed that to next month because who cares about that when we've got a new Disney blush obsession. Now this isn't a monthly collection. As far as I'm aware, there isn't a monthly collection in the way of, you know, Stitch Tack Snacks, Mickey Memories, etc. this year, which I'm very relieved about actually. We got an email the day that these released to say that there's 3 series coming, and it's this one, which is pretty much replacing New Emos, I think, but we'll talk about that in a sec. Irresistibles, which are little vinyl ear hats. I would like to know if they're more like stress balls or plastic, because if they're like stress balls, I'll collect those, but if they're just plain vinyl plastic, I don't want them. And then the Winnie the Pooh pin collection, which looks like it's too expensive for me to buy into, but it doesn't look like we're having any monthly plush collection, which is kind of a good thing for me because I would like to save a bit of money each month, especially once they introduced Angel into Stitch Tack Snacks and there was the worry that I'd be spending £56 a month. I was getting really concerned about how much I would be spending, and those plush collections do go up in price every year, so we'd probably be looking at £30 a plush each month plus the postage. So I'm a little bit relieved, and it doesn't really mean that there's a gap in my content because, you know, we've still got Munchlings, we have these that we're going to be talking about today, and I'm sure there'll be other things. I mean, there'll be hauls, there'll be plush reviews of seasonal plushes. I've got the Valentine's plushes already, so you'll see that at the start of February. I'm not worried about my content. I will find plenty of things to do, even if we just focus on what I've got, because buying stuff is expensive. But that doesn't mean that there won't be a Parks monthly collection. I haven't seen anything about that. I kind of hope there isn't because it would be harder for me to get. There might be a Simba one that's sold through Amazon. That would be really exciting because it would be easier and sometimes a little bit cheaper, but I don't need a monthly collection. Like I said, there's Munchlings, there's these, there's plenty of things for me to collect on a regular basis. But I do think that these have sadly replaced New Emos because they seem to be very similar in the way that Munchlings were very similar to Wishables. Again, it hasn't really been announced that New Emos are going away, but we haven't had them in the UK since the end of 2023, I think, maybe even the end of 2022, and the US haven't had them for a while either. And these things never last forever. I mean, we had some Sums, and then we had You Foofies, and then we had Tiny Big Feet. These things just come and go, but I would just like to say that these ones are insanely popular, and New Emos got quite popular as well, and it's great to see, but it's also frustrating that the same people that would pick on you for collecting plush or being a plush collector are walking around with plush in the parks. But they are for everyone. It's just that I wish people would look back and apologise for their judgment that they made of others when they didn't like these things. Do they like these just because they're trendy, or does it make them feel the way I feel about plush? But that's besides the point. These seem to have replaced New Emos. They've kind of adapted from New Emos, and we'll talk about that. They're a similar price to New Emos, and I don't think Disney like to have competing very similar products at the same time. So sadly this might be it for New Emos, which is a bit frustrating because of all the money I'd put into them. They've all got outfits and things. I take them to the parks still, and I will continue to do that, but these will be easier to take to the parks. But today we are going to be talking about Disney Mini Mix-Its. So they released 4 in the UK, they've released 6 in the US, and I've also seen that those 6 are available in Hong Kong Disneyland. I haven't seen whether they're available in Disneyland Paris, but I see no reason why they wouldn't be because New Emos were sold in Disneyland Paris. I've just bought them through Disney Store UK. All of the affiliate links for these 4 will be in the description if you'd like to get them. So I've got all 4 that the UK released. There are 2 more that exist currently, Stitch and Angel, and their tags say they're from the Valentine's collection, so I'm pretty much expecting them any day now, and I don't know whether I'll do another video every time I get more Mix-Its or whether I'll like save it up. but I'll probably put them on my shorts anyway, so if you haven't checked out my shorts, please do. I had to get these on 2 orders, but basically they released on Monday the 6th of January. There was a promotional video on the front of the Disney store that showed 4, but only 3 were available. I commented on their social posts, no response. I just checked out with the 3 because you really don't know how popular they're going to be. I had a couple of people say, why didn't you wait until Donald? We listen and we don't judge. I've been through enough release days where one thing has sold out while I've been waiting for another thing to load up on the system. I just had to put in 2 orders. It means I've paid postage twice, which I'm really annoyed about. Someone in America said, oh, they refund us over here for things like that, but the UK just really don't. But I got them in 2 separate orders. The first order was in a box. If you didn't see that unboxing, I will leave a card up above. So I got a message to say that Donald was available in the afternoon. So there was a good half a day where he wasn't available. And someone actually questioned why I didn't buy Donald. I don't have to buy everything. I buy things because I want things. Because I could have just done this review with just one of them. It just so happened that I wanted all 4 for different reasons. And we'll go on to those reasons in a bit. But I've unbagged them. I haven't taken their tags off because I would like to show you their tags as part of this review, but let's look at them in more detail. So this is the Mickey Mouse. He's got a little tag saying that he's from the Magic Kingdom series. Like I said, the Stitch one is from the Valentine series. The tags say Disney Mini Mix-Its and what character it is and what series, and then there's a little diagram in there to show you that you can mix and match their hats, just in case you really didn't know that. I don't know how many there's going to be per series. I don't know how often they're going to get released. I just assume that because the Stitch one is a Valentine's one, we will get that before Valentine's Day. So it might be that we get them monthly, but we're technically 1 series behind America or something, because they love to keep us 1 behind America. So Mickey Mouse, as you can see, is in an enchanted tiki room hat. They are velcroed, so they can come off, but when you first get them, they are attached by a little piece of plastic that you can cut. But now I've shown you the tag, I am going to take them off because I really don't want them on. I can't do the things I want to do with them with the tags still on. There's literally just 1 tag here that you can cut off, and then you can take the hat off. So he's actually really cute without the hat, and I would have got Mickey anyway because I do love collecting Mickey and Minnie and things. Now when I say they've adapted or upgraded from New Emos, it's because what they've actually done is they've put a bit of velcro on the back of each character to allow you to attach them to a bag handle. So Disney obviously saw, and we know that because they posted this as a hack on their own social media channels, that people were attaching New Emos to their bags with things like hair ties and things. So they thought, let's make one that's already designed for that purpose. Disney even explained this in the product description by saying there's a hook and loop strap on the back so they can be attached to a favourite accessory like a backpack. The hat can be worn by other Disney Mini Mix-It soft toys, each sold separately, so collect them all for even more fun. I must say I'll probably take these to the parks now more than New Emos, just because they are inbuilt with what they need. I worry about the hair ties because you could lose the hair tie could snap and then you lose the New Emo, but this is actually built for that purpose. I'm really excited to take these to the parks. I haven't got a parks trip for a while yet, and I haven't got anywhere I can really wear this, but I might just wear them to Merry Hill one day just for fun. But they are really cute plushes. What I didn't understand was when they released on Disney Store UK, Mickey Mouse was $14.95 and the other 3 were £15. I don't know why. That's really weird for one to just be 5p cheaper than the rest, but I assume that going forward that they will all be £15. They say that these are 18 centimetres, so let's see if that's right. I don't know if that's going to be with or without the hat. Let's put his hat back on. So you've got the colouring of Jose, he's red and yellow, and you've got some feathers on the sides and the back, and then at the top of the head you've got his beak and his eyes, and it's really cute. I would say this one's probably my second favourite hat, but we'll talk about how I would rank them in a moment. What's really annoying is that one of the feathers is sticking up and I can't get it to stick back down. I have it set to bang on 18 because you can just see the 8 inside the tape measure there, but when you pop him on top, so he's actually sitting on the 18, you can still see the 2 above his head, so he's more like 16 centimetres actually. I'll see whether the rest are the same. If I do it from his little feet, he does go up to about 18, but because when they stick out they're at the front, I would say he's more like 16 centimetres. And without the hat, with the feet, he's 18 centimetres, but sat down, he's more like 15 centimetres if you don't count his ears. So it's about 18, but it really depends on whether you count his feet and his hat and his ears into it. But I will show you the rest of them and then we'll get on to talking about what I think of them. So the next one is Minnie Mouse. I of course got Minnie Mouse. I am kind of tempted to put her in my car because she could actually go around the seatbelt. I might actually pop in footage of me testing all the different things to see if it will fit, because I'm trying to think of the questions I would have if I wanted to buy something. What kind of things can I put it on? I'm just going to quickly take her tags off, because they're identical to Mickey's. She's also in that Magic Kingdom series. I'm just going to cut the tag off her hat as well. So as you can see, she's got a hat on that makes her look like a carousel horse, which is really cute. Sitting her on here, she goes above 18 centimetres because of this little gold thing. I mean, technically, if you stood her up by the foot, she'd be even bigger, but it's just easier for me to sit them down. But that one is about 18 centimetres. And there's quite a bit more detail on this one. So there's some embroidery to it. And then this one's got some embroidery. So obviously like the gold and blue detailing of the carousel horses, and then some eyes and some ears, and then a mane that goes along the back with screen printed flowers on, and then a bit of detailing on the heads that would be for like where the pole goes. It's really lovely, but again, they do look just as cute without the hat on. So she's got her classic bow on her ears to match her little dress. Her dress isn't polka dot all over, which I would have liked. Just her skirt is polka dot. Someone said these look really awkward, and I think they do without the hat because they don't really have a neck, but the hat just makes it look a little bit better. But she would look really adorable in my car, wouldn't she? And then the third one I got in that first order was Pluto. I've got to say, seeing the 6 characters that they've brought out, I'm a bit like, can you do some deeper cuts, please? We always get these same 6 characters. But because I actually quite regret not getting the Pluto new emo, I'm really happy to have this Pluto, because with new emos I was just like, oh, do I really need Pluto? He doesn't stand on 2 legs most of the time. He's on all 4s. He looks a bit awkward as a new emo. So I didn't get him. I regretted it. And then when this one came out, I was like, I will absolutely get Pluto. It just so happens that I think he's wearing the best hat out of all of them. So again, I'm going to take his tag off because it's the same as Mickey's and Minnie's. And I'm just going to cut the little tag that's keeping the hat on. I get why they've done that, because otherwise in the stores and the parks, I bet a lot of hats would get stolen, or people would mix and match them before they paid, which you're not allowed to do. But yeah, it's just a bit annoying for me, because when I was filming my unboxings, I wanted to whip the hat off, and I was like, no, I should film this first for you, so you get the first look. But this is Pluto with a little Haunted Mansion gargoyle hat, which I just think is the best one they've done, and it really shows what they can do. And actually, they've gone for some really good attractions. So you've got the Tiki Room, you've got the carousel horses, and now you've got Haunted Mansion. I would have liked a Small World one in this series, so I'm hoping these aren't the only ones they're bringing out for the Magic Kingdom series, but we'll just have to see. But let's take his little hat off so you can see what he looks like. He's got these little dangly ears, and you can see that he's got the green collar on, which you couldn't see because of his hat. He's got little rosy cheeks. I do agree that the neck's a bit thick, but it's to fit the hat. And he's got little paws and little feet, and then the strap is green, which I suppose is to look like his collar, but it would have been fine if it was yellow, because Minnie's is red to match her outfit and Mickey's is black to match him. So I would have preferred this to be yellow, but I think I'm just being picky at this point. But let's pop his little hat back on and let's see how tall he is. So again, more like a 16 without the feet, but then 18 with the feet. So it's just a technicality. I wouldn't include the feet because they don't stand. They actually sit at the same level as their bums, but I suppose they wanted to make it look bigger. And then the final one, I had to order this one separately, so he came in a bag, so I had to do my awkward kind of unbagging style where I'm in the video, and I hate those, so I avoid it if I can. But this is Donald, so let's take his little tags off. And I've just detached his hat, but he's got a Space Mountain hat on. I think this hat was my least favourite hat, but I really wanted Donald. And I do think Joe might borrow this one when we're in the parks, because Joe's really obsessed with shoulder plushes. He's never really liked new emos, but because we've got a duck, he might want to wear one on his bag, so that would be fine. But let's take his little hat off, because I'm intrigued to see whether he's got his sailor hat on. Oh, that's good, because I think Donald looks unnatural without his hat. So as you can see, they can be used with or without the hat, and you can mix and match the hats as well. So he's got his little blue sailor hat and his little blue outfit with a red screen printed bow, and then his Velcro is blue, and he's got a little bit of his outfit that comes out over the top of it. So I think Pluto is the most awkward one for that Velcro bit. Now let's talk about the tags, because you know I don't really like tags. There are two which I really can't stand. There's the normal one that tells you where it's made and the washing instructions for it. So you can hand wash it at 30 degrees, but you can't put it in the washing machine, you can't iron it, you can't tumble dry it. And then the second tag just has the recycling information. And I just think it ruins it to have these absolutely massive tags on it, especially one that's got hardly anything on it. They could have made this writing smaller to fit the other thing on it. And honestly, why are we even telling someone to recycle something that they've just bought? You would donate it to a charity shop if you didn't want it, but we've literally just bought it. I don't know whether that's a requirement in any country to have that information there, but I think the tags ruin it. So I do think I'm going to be cutting all these off. I don't usually, but if they're going to be on my bag, I don't want all of that there. See what I mean? So actually, let's just do it together. Look away if you don't agree with this. If you think I shouldn't have, just don't tell me, because it's my plush, I paid for it, I can do with it what I want. I'm sure I won't be the only person doing this. Got my scissors. You can get quite close to the bum. There we go. That looks a lot better. I'm just going to do it to all four of them while I'm at it. That one doesn't look as good because obviously Donald is white, so you couldn't see the white tag. You can kind of see the white tag on Pluto, but needs must. Minnie, now hers is on a white bottom, so it should look fine as well. And there's Mickey done as well. So I actually think they look a lot better like that, but they look a lot better like this because there's nothing dangling down. So what are the possibilities for these? So because they've already added this on, they want you to accessorize them in the parks. They can go on your backpacks. They could go on belt loops probably. I'm not so sure about bum bags and fanny packs because it's going this way and you'd need it to go that way, but it depends on the one you've got. The one I've got, they wouldn't work for. With the example for Minnie, for my car, she could go across my seatbelt if I wanted her to. I did do that with a magnetic one in the past. As long as it stays with you and you don't leave it unattended for it to get lost, you could put it on your suitcase, which would be really cute. You could put it on handbags, you could put it on crossbody bags, basically anything where it's going on something that's upright rather than sideways so that they stay upright, because the DIY plush headbands are the opposite. They go that way, so they need to go on something that's the other way, like a fanny pack, like ears. These wouldn't work on ears because you'd have to put them on and then they would be on their side. So like I said earlier, I really love that these plush things are becoming accessories, becoming quite trendy, because it means that we will keep getting things that I will like. However, like I said, it's really annoying that the kind of people that have judged me for my love of plush in the past are jumping on these. But plush collectors accept everyone into their community. They would just like an apology for how they were treated in the past. But I did say I would kind of rank them for you, didn't I? So I would say, in order of which hats were my favourite, the Haunted Mansion Gargoyle hat is my favourite hat, followed by the Enchanted Tiki Room Jose hat, followed by the Carousel Horse hat, and lastly the Space Mountain hat, because I just think the Space Mountain hat is just a little bit ugly. And then my favourite plush would be really difficult, because technically I would have bought all of them for the characters that they are, but I really don't like Pluto's green Velcro strap. So even though I love them all equally, Pluto is my least favourite because of that. With the Valentine's plushes, Stitch is wearing a heart hat, which I would really like the hat and the character. And then there's Angel, who's wearing a flower hat, and I don't collect much Angel, and I also don't love the flower hat. So I'm not sure whether I'll get Angel. I need to have a conversation with myself about that. It probably depends on my finances on the day, because I won't give anyone else that flower hat probably, unless I go to Disneyland Paris in the spring or something. And I don't collect Angel that much, so we'll see. But I would personally love more Magic Kingdom ones. I'd love something Small World, I'd love something Big Thunder Mountain, something Pirates of the Caribbean. There's so many things they could do, and there's also so many characters they could do, so it frustrates me that they go for the same ones every time. I know they like to do the ones that are walking around the parks, but I mean, we haven't even got Goofy in the first release. But I'd love to see whether they do princesses, whether they just keep it to Mickey and Friends, plus Stitch randomly. These will be great for me when I go to the Wolverhampton Grand. I don't have to take new emails all the time if I don't want to, because these can already be attached to my bag when I get there. So that will probably be the first outing for these guys actually. But the big question that I know will be on a lot of your minds is, are they worth the money? So I've just grabbed a new email for size. This is Winnie the Pooh, and actually I'm really hoping they do a Winnie the Pooh series, because wouldn't they look so cute? I'd probably have to get a second one for my dad, because I think he would love that it can attach to a bag. Admittedly, my dad doesn't really wear a bag unless I've given him a bag to wear, but he would still really love it anyway. He always says his Tigger emo is one of his favourite Tiggers. And I chose Winnie the Pooh as my example actually, because someone commented on my reel and said that Pluto looked a little bit like Winnie the Pooh, which he does because his hat is covering his collar, but it means that a Winnie the Pooh would look very similar, but I still want them to do them. They were $9.95 when they came out, but towards the end they were up to $15.95. So let's just say for argument's sake that they're $14.95, which is the same price as the mini Mix-Its, give or take, that some of them are just around £15. They are pretty much the same size. And even though some new emos had a removable outfit and others didn't, all of these mini Mix-Its will come with a hat as standard, because that's the whole point, you're mixing and matching the hats. So I would say they're worth the money, just in relation to the fact that the thing that they're replacing was the same price, if that makes sense, and you haven't got to buy outfits on top. I wonder whether they will sell additional hats, or whether it will just always be that we will get a character with a hat. But I would personally love to see a Winnie the Pooh series. I'd love to see what they do for everything, to be honest, because can you imagine if they did a little figment for Epcot? That would be so popular. But please don't make that Epcot exclusive, because us guys in the UK need figment as well. They could also do little hats for each country, which would be really, really fun. But if they did individual hats, I hate to think how much they would charge for them, because New Emo's outfits were like £10. But I think they're worth the money, just in relation to how much New Emo's cost. Just like Wishables and then their replacement Munchlings were very similar in price, so you couldn't say that one was worth more than the other. The only argument you could really make was that Wishables you could feel, so you very rarely got duplicates if you went to get them yourself. But I absolutely love these. I can't wait to take them with me on adventures and use them in places. I might take them on non-Disney adventures as well. I can't wait to see what else we get. I would love to get the Stitch if it comes to the UK, maybe even the Angel if I can afford it at the time. But I just want to know a release schedule for these. Are they going to be monthly? Are they just going to be whenever they feel like it, like with Munchlings? And what other things are they going to release them for? Will we get ones for things like St. Patrick's Day, Easter, Christmas, Halloween? The possibilities are endless with these, and that's what I love about these kind of customizable plushes. Because like I said, you can change the hats, so let's have a little play around with them and what you can do with them. But that was my review of the Disney Mini Mix-Its. I really hope you enjoyed this video and found my review of them helpful. If you have any more questions that I haven't addressed, please feel free to drop them in the comments, because I was thinking, what other questions would you have apart from my standard Disney Plush review format, because these are so new. So if there's anything I've missed, please feel free to ask me and I'll answer them down in the comments. But I really love these plushes and I'm excited to see where they go with them, as there's a lot of potential for a plush of this style. But thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it and found it helpful. Please give it a big thumbs up if you did, and join me on Friday for a new video where I finally show you me moving around all of my shelves for a New Year's reset. Have a great week and I'll hopefully catch you on Friday. Bye friends!